you think President Trump's a fascist?
I actually just took a fascism class, and we did not discuss that, but I have my own thoughts on President Trump.
You took a fascism class?
I did.
What is fascism?
Fascism to me is... I agree with... There's, like, different definitions.
Oh, come on.
You can get your textbook.
Yes, I can. Let me pull it up.
Different definitions.
Did you find out what fascism means yet?
I know what fascism means, but I'm trying to give the different definitions to compare and contrast.
Can you give me one definition?
No, there's no one definition of fascism. It's still highly debated among historians.
Can you give me a definition?
It's when you're...
I actually think I'm done engaging.
Wait, no, but I want to talk.
Do you think President Trump's a fascist?
Yeah, so she needs a refund from the college she attended. she needs a refund. All right, so a guest claims that he's socialist. Gardening, thank you for joining. Thank you for being in the chat. So, funny thing happened. I hit the go live button. Nothing happened. So I had to start investigating to find out why my streaming software broke. Well, the show must go on. JM, thanks for joining in the chat. Okay, let's do a roll call, okay? Let's do a roll call. Gardening, thank you, as always. I have to start being, more polite, say hi to everyone as soon as we start streaming. And JM, thank you. Thanks for the chat. And let's see, you ever notice it is always what it means to me? The me generation. And it's sad. I have a lot of thoughts, on that, but let's just move forward. We started 5 minutes late, and I want us to get as much in tonight as possible. So let's watch this exchange, okay? Caleb Hammer, he runs a show where he essentially does a financial audit on his guests. And this guest says that she's a socialist. And I saw this and I felt, okay, let's hear what they have to say.
They have barbed wire and awful living conditions and maggots in the food and abusing the people in there, no due process. That's a concentration camp.
Okay.
And so people are rightfully outraged and are out there to demoralize the people who are going into those.
I asked her what her job was, by the way.
I said finance, and you asked if I was a bad capitalist.
And so
I'm
she's
a
talking about
socialist.
concentration camps. You're a socialist?
Yes.
Okay, socialism has never worked. What socialism are you in favor for? Here we go, get ready.
I believe that...
Take a system.
A system?
Take a system in the world that you're in favor of.
Well...
That you would rather be our system.
I just don't want it to be capitalism. Nor do I want it to be...
take a system that has worked, that you like, and would like to replicate here.
Capitalism...
Take a system, please. That has been proven to work in any country, anywhere. That is better than our system, please.
Capitalism...
Yeah, please.
No.
Does not...
Okay, that's great. I hear. Yes, you have your talking points. That's wonderful. Now pick a system that has worked anywhere, better than here, that you would rather have.
Well,
I'm waiting for it.
Your definition of better is not valuing the intrinsic value.
I don't give a fuck about my definition, your definition. I'm asking you to choose. Don't cater to my definition.
And I'm choosing socialism.
No, yeah, but pick it. Pick another country that has worked.
And unfortunately, we are an imperialist.
Never tried real socialism, I bet you.
Imperialism is hurting those socialist countries.
Really?
It hurt the USSR?
It's
Weren't
hurting
they imperialist?
and Venezuela. Yeah, the blockades that we're doing for the
for what it's
oil
worth,
in
oil
those
production
places.
dramatically fell after the state took control of Venezuela, and it hurt their economy dramatically well before our embargo. You might be right about Cuba, but no, Venezuela did it themselves before we embargoed. Timeline-wise, so you're just wrong. They had a slush fund coming in when it was collecting taxes from the private enterprise.
What I'm not wrong about is the fact
That's
that
great. So what system,
capitalism
please? Okay, I just asked what her job was. Here we go. Please, pick a system. One place that according to your values you would rather do.
New York.
That's not socialist. That's the most capitalist place in the world.
But Mamdani is out there doing
He's democratic socialist.
Yeah.
Socialist.
Yeah.
He still believes in capitalism. You know that, right?
Start somewhere.
No. That is still capitalist. All his policies are funded on the tax revenue generated by capitalism. That's capitalism. That is not
taxes
a workers-based socialism. Taxes come from the capitalist state still. So no, that is not socialist. But if that's what you'd like to see, then don't call yourself a socialist, because that's not socialist. That's still capitalism. That's more Scandinavian. That's European, which is still funded on capitalist systems. I was hoping you were going to say something like Sweden or the UK. I was hoping you were going to say something like that, which are still objectively capitalist countries. Mm-hmm. Not socialist by any means of the imagination. They have some more social programs, all
They do have
funded,
social programs.
all funded by the success of capitalism, all funded by the marketplace and the wages
So what
created
happens
by
if you
capitalism.
do more social programs? How many social programs do you have to do before it's socialist?
You're talking about social programs. Socialist is a completely different economic structure, though.
Right, where the worker has
State-run.
their
Well, it's
relationship to
state-run.
the means of production.
State-run, but yes, state-run. That wouldn't really create much. You know what happened in the USSR? With all the land, most arable land almost in the world besides the United States and I think Ukraine. Well, they had to import all their wheat. Vast majority of their wheat. It doesn't work. It doesn't create the outcome. People need to eat, and
People
it
do need
doesn't
to
work. You know what's actually more
Are we
important?
feeding people under capitalism?
Yes. Have you seen our poor people? They're fat. Yes. The poor people in the United States have to take Ozempic.
Okay, but is it because the cost of chips is more than minimum wage?
Chips. You think that's what's necessary for a sustained lifestyle?
I think that it's one of the cheapest things you can get from the gas station.
Gas station? Should we be doing our grocery shopping from the gas station? I think we've gotten some pretty bad advice if we're talking about meal prepping.
Well, you would know a thing or two about meal prepping.
Yes.
Oh man, this is funny. So I don't know about you, but socialism arguments are all over my timeline now. Okay, since we had the windfall that the Democratic Socialists had over the last couple of weeks, and we still have people like this woman who believe that socialism hasn't been done right, or that socialism failed because of capitalism. Okay, capitalism didn't allow socialism to work. I like what Margaret Thatcher said. She said that socialism only works until they run out of other people's money. And it's always based on the wealth that has been built by capitalist enterprise. The socialists sweep in and say, hey, look at all this money. It should be going to the people. And then the people who are disadvantaged, maybe due to maybe their own doing or the fact that they grew up under different circumstances that didn't allow them to get the education or the training or the exposure that they needed to, come up in life. They all scream and they say, yay, share the money. Essentially, they want their Robin Hood government to steal the money that other people created, the wealth that others created, and hand it off to them. And they think that the people who get stolen from have any incentive to create more wealth. What happens? They stop creating wealth. In fact, most of them find a way to leave the country, and then they move to, say, the United States, where they continue to be successful, because being a business creator, or a wealth creator, is something that is easy to replicate under the best circumstances. And when you go to the United States, you can do that there. And what happens to the companies and the wealth that they leave in the communist countries? It gets wasted. And you know what? They don't know how to create it. So the only thing that's accurate is that the existence of the United States creates an outlet for these ones who create the wealth to move over, and then they can't be used as cash cows by the communists anymore. So that's the only way I can agree with her to say the existence of capitalism caused socialism to collapse or communism to not work in those countries. That's the only concession that I will give, but it's only because the wealth creators had the means to leave the country and take their ingenuity and their expertise with them, and everything else that they left behind collapses. Now, I saw this, and I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail and the title. Like, this is different from all the other, most of the other live streams. I'm going to start working on thumbnails. Just in. On America's 250th birthday, Buffalo, Boston, and Minneapolis choose to fly the Somali flag instead of Old Glory. This is an absolute betrayal, and I totally agree. Columbus, Ohio was forced to back down after a massive firestorm erupted. This is disgraceful. Let's have a listen to this.
Well, not just celebrating, but honoring and remembering and ushering in the future. Some citizens are furious that Democrat leaders are celebrating another country's Independence Day. Cities including Boston, Buffalo, Minneapolis are flying the Somali flag. This is outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner. here with my co-hosts Emily Campagno and Kaylee McEnany. Also joining us today, Kennedy, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, and Dakota Meyer is here, Medal of Honor recipient and our friend. Well, we've been tracking a number of Democrat-led cities that have appeared to put America's 250th birthday on the back burner. Buffalo held a celebration for Somali Independence Day, flying the country's flag at City Hall. That country's flag. And just a day after canceling its 4th of July fireworks show. The city said it ran into logistical issues. In Boston, Democrat Mayor Michelle Wu also celebrated Somalia weeks after she proposed cutting nearly $1 million from veteran services.
Really?
That is so unpatriotic. Wu eventually restored the funding after fierce backlash. Yeah, they gave her some oxygen. She woke up. In Columbus, Ohio, the Parks Department is backtracking after a now-deleted social media post that promised a similar celebration. A firestorm erupting on social media. Critics are going after the city's decision to celebrate a foreign country so close to our Independence Day, with one pointing out City Hall.
So that's one report. Let's look at this one, which I saw today, and it completely infuriated me. Okay, so in this report, Boston officials force citizens to remove American flag, but allowed Somali flag to hang just feet away. This is what socialists are turning America into, and on our 250th celebration of independence is stunning. You can't make this stuff up. Let's have a listen.
I don't think it's a big deal, but that's your call?
Yeah, we rented the fence, so
yeah.
we gotta take it down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't apologize.
Yeah. You rented the fence?
Yeah, yeah.
Do
No,
whatever
I
you
understand.
want with it.
That's it.
So,
I've been in
nice
these
looking
situations.
flag.
Yeah, well, that's great. It doesn't do any good when it's taken down. Making me take the flag down. The city of Boston complained. Terrible, terrible. Put that Somali flag up in 2 seconds.
I mean, how crazy is this? Let me set up what you just saw. So the gentleman in that video is Robert Burke. He's running for Congress in Massachusetts, and he decided that it was appropriate to put up an American flag in City Hall in Boston. That's City Hall right there. Ugliest City Hall in America, by the way, built in an architectural dark age like the 60s, 70s, just a gross building. But he wanted to do it in Boston this week, America's 250th birthday, after the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, celebrated Somali Independence Day and raised the Somali flag over City Hall. And officials, you just saw, they forced him to take it down. And when you look right across the street, there's a Somali flag. There it is, flapping in the wind in Boston. Here's the mayor, Michelle Wu, celebrating Somali Independence Day.
Somalia's Independence Day serves as a powerful symbol of freedom, unity, and the enduring fight for justice and dignity for all communities. Now, therefore, I, Michelle Wu, Mayor of the City of Boston, do hereby proclaim Friday, June 26, 2026, to be Somali Flag Raising Day in the City of Boston.
This is disgraceful.
Okay, I'll just say the people that are from Somalia that are here for a reason, because Somalia is a third world disaster. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. They don't even have a proper government. We don't even recognize what they do have.
Do you know why there are Americans? There's a large number of Americans who don't own passports. It is because they don't necessarily need to go anywhere. They don't. They don't want to go anywhere. For years, I would listen to, I used to listen to cassette tapes, and I would hear of people who lived in small towns and they never left town. And I would always wonder, what is it like to live in a country where you don't want to leave? You don't even imagine leaving. I spoke with someone, I think it was last week, and they were asking me, they're native to Canada, and they were not Aboriginal but white, and we were talking, and he's asking me, here's what he said to me, I can't imagine what it's like to uproot your life and move from your country to another country. I said, well, simply moving your family from one country to another is one thing, but leaving the country you came from, which is in a worse economic and social state than the one you're going to, takes it to a whole nother level. So I said a bunch of things to him that I don't want to repeat here, but the point is this. The left right now is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. The left deserves to lose every single election from dog walker, city dog walker, all the way up to the presidency. They do not deserve to be in office. I know that there's a danger of having a single party state. There's a danger to that. But what the Democrat Party has become is disgraceful. That, look, a lot of people are going to close their noses and say, look, well, I know there are a lot of people that are going to keep voting Democrat. And in the blue cities and states that have been captured, they are going to continue to cheat. They are going to continue to rig the elections, and they're going to continue to win. All right. So let me read the chat. JM says the dirty Dems are flying those flags because they need all that Somali fraud money. I am inclined to agree, but I want to ask you guys, okay, and I want you to tell me what you think. This is America's Independence Day. What city should be focused on another country during this month? Okay, these traitors spent last month focusing on the alphabet community. That's what they did. They spent last month focusing on the alphabet community. Some of them took down the American flag to fly the watercolor flag. And after they were done, the month that is meant to kick off the 250th anniversary of the United States, they choose to spit in the eye of American citizens. I don't know what's going on with the United States, guys. I don't know. Like, we watch this all the time, but I don't know what's going on with the United States. In other news, just consistent with what you said, JM, you have this news which was making the rounds about Ilhan Omar. And will there be consequences? I don't know. The public deserves to know exactly what is contained in the sealed court records that connect Ilhan Omar's office to a massive multi-million-dollar fraud ring. She claims she has zero knowledge of the reprehensible fraud scheme, but she is actively running and hiding from basic transparency. Do you remember, excuse me, now I'm going to play this and then I'm going to say something that's kind of ties in with the hypocrisy of the left when it comes to things like this.
What did all of those messages say? Well, we don't know that because they were sealed by the court. And when Minnesota lawmakers investigating the fraud requested Congresswoman Omar to turn those records related to her office's contacts with individuals who've been charged or convicted in the scheme, she refused.
It's not like a one-off. She has relationships with many of those who've been convicted or charged in this scheme. So I think it's absolutely relevant that we get to the truth of what those communications with her office were.
Omar has not been charged or accused of any crime connected to the fraud, and she denies any wrongdoing, telling Fox Digital, any claim that I had knowledge of this scheme is flat out false. As I stated from the beginning, stealing millions of dollars under the guise of feeding hungry children to bankroll lavish lifestyles and extravagant expenses is reprehensible. State GOP lawmakers are now calling on congressional investigators to take this on, to issue their own subpoena for those records. Bill?
Okay, let's hear what
now, I wouldn't have a problem with them saying, or Ilhan Omar, if she was saying, I have nothing to do with that. Just because these fraudsters tried to communicate with my office and my staff, never communicate with me directly, I have nothing to do with it. There could be people that I've met before that I have taken pictures with, and I have met, and they do crazy stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know these people doing that stuff. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And I will say it flat out. You won't find me hiding and running from somewhere. If somebody was associated with me and they did something they ain't supposed to do, I'm going to flat out say they wrong. I don't support that, and they wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong, 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 wrong. I'm not covering for you. I'm not saying that. They're wrong. And if you got investigated because you didn't done something crooked, and the investigators want to say, hey, can we see the communications between you and this person because this person is caught up in some... Here, man, it's all the messages I've ever sent this person. Why would you try to hide it? You know why they hiding it. Because she knows she didn't say something, and you know, some of the communications would allude to the fact that she had some knowledge of the stuff that they were doing, or she was in on it, a part of it to some degree. That's why she don't want to share it, in my opinion.
Well, so what I wanted to say is this, okay, and he's right with his analysis, okay? There are people who, she's a public figure, people could be sending her email, and hey, she's run on the fact that she represents Somalia, okay? So this Somalian is reaching out to her because she has openly advertised that she is representing the interests of Somalians and Somalia, not the United States of America. So it's fine that her people, her constituents, reach out to her. However, the hypocrisy is this: when we watched the Epstein file releases, and her party couldn't help themselves. They were so excited that someone simply in a correspondence to someone else mentioned Donald Trump's name. And all they did for weeks was Trump's name was in the Epstein files. And when you open it up, it's simply two people who are talking about about Donald Trump within the email correspondence. Nothing was connected or tied to Donald Trump. But everyone who had emails either going to Epstein or from Epstein had all the excuses in the world. They had every reason in the world. There was always someone else who was responsible for that mishap. They weren't responsible for texting with Epstein while they were trying to impeach Trump, okay, and receiving instructions from Epstein. No, that was someone else's fault. And that congresswoman is still in Congress till this day. The hypocrisy is just crazy. And let's keep going down the rabbit hole of hypocrisy. The Democrat presidential candidate during the last run, Kamala Harris, is now openly associating with communists and pro-Palestinian groups. Okay, so remember when they told us that there was no communism, that the Democrats aren't socialists? No, they're not. We're not, we're not hobnobbing with the terrorists. No, we're not. Remember when they said all that?
10. Now it appears Kamala Harris may be trying to get in on the action. Fox News Digital confirms the former vice president has reached out or spoken to prominent progressives over the last several days. She's called New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. She's met with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's also been reportedly reaching out to pro-Palestinian groups. Here's Mamdani talking about his conversation with Harris.
The vice president reached out to have a conversation, and we've had a brief conversation. We've been in touch over the last few months, and I really do appreciate her outreach.
It's the latest sign that Harris may be trying to boost her relationships with left-wing Democrats as speculation builds around her political future and whether she's considering launching another bid for the White House.
I hope she does. I hope she runs. I hope she runs. I hope she runs. So, now that all of these reports that we just watched have essentially confirmed that Americans aren't being replaced by immigrants. No, it's not happening. All right, it's not happening. When we were talking about the replacement theory, they said, no, it's a conspiracy theory. So flying another country's flag and celebrating their independence and their day is not replacing Americans, and discounting the 250th anniversary of no, it's not happening. Okay, the corruption and fraud in Minnesota that they said wasn't happening. Okay, and when investigations are being prompted, everyone begins to lawyer up and ask the courts to seal the case, okay, because they don't want the actual dirt on the matter to go public. Okay, so it's not happening, guys. There's nothing to see here. All right. There's no corruption. What corruption, guys? You guys are conspiracy theorists. And then you have the Democrats who said that they are democratic socialists, but it's not communism, it's socialist. And then we're like, okay, so why are you hobnobbing with terrorists? No, those aren't terrorists, and I don't know who those are. Meanwhile, right now, you see the Democrats hobnobbing with all of these people who 15 to 20 years ago, they would not be caught dead talking to because it would be political suicide. Why are all of these things happening today? It's because, just like you and I have said for days now, the Democrat Party that we knew is gone. It's gone. Right now, it's overrun by extremists, by Islamists, by communists. That is the Democrat Party right now. So Kamala Harris, who is planning to run for president, is letting us know who the power base is right now in the Democratic Socialist Antifa Islamist Party of America. Now, let's move on to a follow-up on the Sheridan Gorman situation. We watched her mom in Congress, and she had an interview on Fox today. So let's have a listen to what she said, because there were things we didn't see, and she's going to essentially give us the inside track of what was going on in that room while she and others were testifying before Congress.
The DOJ announcing charges against 8 illegal migrants, alleged Tren de Aragua gang members, for murdering and kidnapping in Texas and in Illinois and Chicago. It comes as the mother of an 18-year-old college student allegedly murdered by an illegal migrant suspect in Chicago demands justice in heartbreaking testimony to Congress as we learn that he was arrested twice before her shooting death.
This story, it's not about him. The story is about my Sheridan. It's about how failed border policies, sanctuary city laws, and twisted leaders refused to cooperate with ICE. They sent her to her grave. We choose you. We choose you. Choose us. Why does my child matter less than an illegal immigrant? Why? I don't understand why it's only the Republican side that cares about our American children.
Sheridan's parents, Jessica and Thomas Gorman, join us now. Thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's such an important topic of conversation. So why was it important, Jessica, for you to go to Capitol Hill and talk to the lawmakers?
We actually thought we were going to speak about the human consequence of these sanctuary city policies. And I was really there to speak for my daughter, my beautiful daughter who was murdered, but I wanted to tell her story. The Bunny Bench story was what I was just going to say, because she was just so amazing. At one point in the testimony, I ended up blurting out something. I said her love was extravagant. It was not a planned thing. I don't even know where that came from, but her love, the love she had for people, was extravagant. That's what I was there for. I was not there to rebut anyone. Just the way it happened, I lost control.
But I understand why. You're talking about losing your daughter, and it didn't have to happen. It was preventable because of policies in these sanctuary cities. But what shocked me when I was watching it is the reaction from these individuals on the left who couldn't care less about your story. Listen to this. This is Congresswoman Jayapal.
As a parent myself, I can think of no greater loss, and I appreciate you being here to share their stories and their lives with us. Unfortunately, this hearing is, it's the 4th time in this committee that we've had a hearing on sanctuary cities, the 4th time. And there's many other things that we could be doing other than this.
They said they started talking about Trump. They didn't want to listen to your story. They preferred to talk about ICE's conduct instead, and saying this is the 4th time we've had this hearing. How many?
I said earlier in this stream that the Democrats don't deserve to win another election. Not one. Not one. If they win another election, it's on the American people. It is. Like, you can't continue to see the travesty that look, I see it from far away, from a different country, and I'm like, what's going on? So it's crazy that they keep winning elections. Well, we just saw a bunch of them win primaries. That is within the Democrat Party, within blue cities and states. So definitely they're going to figure out a way to rig them in. But I don't think that any of them deserves to win another election with this kind of conduct. It is absolutely disgusting.
Many is too many. When does this stop? What was your reaction to that, Thomas?
Just disrespectful. You know, we were there telling Sheridan's story. My wife poured her heart out, and just to hear that, it just shows you that they don't want this to change.
Yeah.
And for this to, we need a bipartisan effort. We do need change. And when we heard, you know, sorry, but, as Jess so eloquently called them out on, it's just disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. Jessica, and
One
that's
of the Democratic, I have to say, one of the Democratic representatives there was napping while they were giving the opening remarks, and when the other angel father was giving his testimony. When they came to me, I literally was just here to tell the story of Sheridan and her extraordinary love and life.
You said something.
They were napping.
Wow.
Yeah, they're napping because they don't have to make an effort. Okay, the states or the cities that they have to go back to run campaigns in have already been captured. They've already been captured. They've already been essentially they're owned by the Democrat Party by virtue of gerrymandering and rigging. So they don't care. They don't care how they look. They don't care how they sound, because whether they act the right way or not, they're going to be returned. That's like, it's the audacity that gets me. All right. We have Intergalactic Trump in the chat. Thank you for joining. All right. So let's read the chat. Let's see. Trump, Intergalactic Trump says hi to everyone. And then Gardening says, beautiful young lady, too bad this world will miss out on what she could have contributed, but she still has a story that we can learn from. And the sad thing is that most of these people get popular because of the misfortune that they essentially had to go through. And that is so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. All right. So we're going to be jumping. Let's see how are we doing for time? Okay, so all right. I'm trying really hard to be good on time today. So let's look at CNN. So CNN is doing what CNN does. Okay, no one should be surprised that the average CNN viewer doesn't understand the difference between capitalism and socialism. We have failed the next generation when they are unable to define the basics of what it means to live in a socialist or capitalist society. The truth is that the education system has been run by Marxists since the 60s. It's been run by Marxists since the 60s. And they couldn't come out as Marxists because as soon as anyone discovered that they are Marxists, they will be investigated, fired, and in some cases ostracized. So they kept it under wraps, but quietly they were training the next generation. Most of the people in office today, most of the Democrats, most of the people in intelligentsia, the presidents of colleges, were all educated in the 60s. And those were educated under Marxists. So they're very patient. So simply saying we failed our children, the only way you fail your children is if you don't do your homework, if you don't do your work at home on the kids, if you don't raise them right, if you don't put your foot down. And it's hard work because most of the time, like, your kids spend how many hours with the teachers in school every day and how many hours with you at home. So it has to be intentional. It has to be concentrated. There has to be more effort put in. You know, I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to myself because we're looking at the outcome of an indoctrination that has been planned and executed to perfection. You have to hand it to these guys, okay? They've been patient. They've done their homework. They've done everything they can to indoctrinate kids, and they're still doing it today. And that's why they're fighting tooth and nail for Trump to not essentially disband the Department of Education. They're calling him all kinds of names. Okay, they will accuse him of a Holocaust for disbanding the Department of Education, because that is the factory where they generate these communists that are essentially voting in the elections today. Let's listen to this.
Now, some viewer feedback from CNN.com/Abby. Here's our first comment. Capitalism is corrupt. That's why socialism is rising in politics. Well, under this administration, I get it.
It's a popular viewpoint these days in the Democratic Party.
Emil, you're laughing, but I mean, isn't it a legit issue that when people see capitalism being weaponized to enrich politicians and oligarchs, that they might get skeptical of it?
I can understand that. If they would actually read a couple of books, they might appreciate the extraordinary body count that socialism has managed to rack up, which is the reason why people imagine saying democratic socialism makes it fundamentally different.
But let's not say, we don't have to say that socialism is better than capitalism, but I'm just saying, isn't it, no, I'm not asking you to, but I'm just saying, isn't it bad PR for capitalism, to function the way that it is functioning in some cases, right?
So one of the things that socialists want to leave out is the fact that people are broken. People are broken. And even if you hand them a perfect system, the brokenness in people will destroy that perfect system. So they look at capitalism, a system that if you have two good faith people who come together to run a transaction, you have a service that I need, I have money to pay you for your service, and we exchange value. I give you money that matches the value of your service. You give me the true value of your service. We know, and both of us live happy and richer for that. So that is at the core of capitalism. When they say it's corrupt, they're talking about people who, in a bid to essentially get undue gain. And when I say undue gain, that is someone who wants to give less and yet make more. All right, that comes from greed. It is a broken circumstance within the soul of every man. So they want to discount the fact that the same broken person who has essentially made a great system like capitalism work. So in spite of the brokenness of people, capitalism still works because we have a choice. You and I have a choice. If I transact with Walmart and they don't serve me properly, I will simply take my money and go elsewhere. That's the beauty of capitalism. With socialism, you're tied to the same vendor all the time. And who's that vendor? The government. Everything is owned by the government. There's no escaping it. And because there's no escaping it, the services are always horrible. When was the last time you went to the DMV? When was the last time you went to the Postal Service? How was the service at those locations? Exactly. That's what happens when everything is run by the government. You get crazy, bad service, but yet CNN is defending it.
Right now. You should want as clean a capitalism as possible.
Amen.
The question is, what are you comparing it to? Because I think the Republican argument in a lot of cases would be where you have the corruption, where you have the greed and the graft, that is when you have the ability to exert control and the rent-seeking behaviors, where you use the government as an extension of that to seek profit. I mean, we've seen this with so many corrupt industries that have become entrenched. They have built up protective moats of legislation around them, and then they get lazy, they get shiftless. You end up not having the ability to then be competitive on the global market. And the next thing you know, we lose those industries because we're no longer competitive. But the comparison of like socialism, my God, just look at the amount of countries where The leaders are now on the Forbes billionaire list, not because they've ever had a private sector job in their life, but because they are able to literally steal everything from their people.
Why sounds an awful lot like that? Sounds an awful lot like Donald Trump and this administration.
This woman with her fake blonde hair, okay, is stupid. She's stupid. All right? It's not me calling her names. She's stupid. They're all looking for the opportunity. Like, you can see her face. Look at her. She couldn't contain herself. She just wanted to say, that's Donald Trump. Donald Trump spent over 50 years of his life building value, building real estate, going against dirty mayors and governments in New York, trying to run a business. And after being successful in spite of all of that, he runs for office and wins. And then you guys want to accuse him of being corrupt. You know, and that's the sad thing about the broken educational system. They turn out people like this this woman. I'm trying really hard not to insult her. Okay? Because she's the picture of people who essentially are out there looking for every reason to call Donald Trump corrupt. I got a message from someone who I talk with regularly, not as regularly as, but he reaches out when he wants to talk about politics and Trump. And we had a discussion a few days ago. And I told him, look, if you're going to be saying that President Trump going after Letitia James and Comey is the weaponization of the justice system, you need to also roll it back to when they went after him. He claims that they had every right to go after him because for years people had been complaining that Trump was corrupt and so on. I said, okay, fine. Since you want to claim that people had said that President Trump was corrupt for years, how come they couldn't indict him on any of those things that they claim people had said for years about him? They literally had to make up charges about a clean business transaction between them and Deutsche Bank and accuse him of fraud. When the bank said there was no fraud and Donald Trump paid us back, they claimed that Trump inflated the value of his real estate properties. And I said to him, Deutsche Bank has its own independent assessors, correct? He says, well, they should. I said, fine. If they came back and they didn't catch the fact that President Trump's company had inflated the real estate properties, what should happen to them? What usually happens is, one, it goes public that this bank has essentially engaged in bad practice. So it's either they get a fine for not doing their job right, or they are criminally charged because if they caught the fact that President Trump inflated the value of his property, it's collusion and they should be criminally charged. So I asked him, has Deutsche Bank been criminally charged? He said, well, that's the problem I have with you guys who support Trump. You guys always look for things to throw around. I said, look, dude, it's a mental exercise. We're talking about facts. That's like, this is what we get to deal with. People don't want to look at facts. Now, he sends me another message. I saw the preview and I was busy. I couldn't read it, but it was essentially President Trump's companies made $2 billion last year. And he's trying to essentially, I know the conversation. Trump is corrupt and his companies made $2 billion. And I'm thinking to myself, President Trump has companies, has over 400 companies, and he's creating more. He's not going to kill his businesses because he's in office. And by being president, the brand of the Trump organization went through the roof. It is the free market. That's what happens. And whether people decide that they want to do business with his companies to curry favor with him, that's the way things happen. People do that because people are broken. Okay? Like, guys, we can talk till the cows come home. And we're not going to convince people like this blonde-haired Negro. She's Negro. I'm Negro. Okay, so it's not an insult. Oh, God. Okay, so Intergalactic Trump says, socialists restrict growth. Yes, they do. Intergalactic Trump also says, socialism is a nice thought in theory, but no one ever in history has ever made it work. That's what we're all saying. But when you point that out, okay, so you joined us late. When you point it out, do you know what they tell you? They'll say socialism has never worked because of the United States and capitalism. And earlier in this live stream, I explained why socialism won't work because capitalism exists. Because you're not locking in people into poverty. You're not forcing the creative geniuses in these communist countries to stay in those communist countries and be bled dry by the government. They have options. And usually, people who run businesses have something called foresight. They can see where the country is going. And so they pack their bag, hop on a plane, or smuggle themselves out of the country and go where? They go to Western civilization where capitalism is still allowed. And what happens there? The same person has the inherent value to be able to create another business that grows. Meanwhile, the millions and millions of dollars worth of industry he leaves behind in those communist countries gets destroyed by the leeches and looters. More of the same, guys, more of the same. All right, this is 47 minutes into the live stream. All right, now, again, CNN's Abby Phillips, I'm going to play this, and then we'll jump into the next segment of the show. CNN's Abby Phillips stops the show to fact-check her own panelist after she claims that 1.5 million Chinese CCP babies have been born in the U.S. Okay, so today is CNN's day because Abby Phillips, and maybe someone in the chat, someone out there, do your research on all of the news anchors. Abby Phillips, what was the other guy's name? Oh, jeez. I keep forgetting the other guy's name, the Vanderbilt boy. I keep forgetting his name. Anyway, most of them come from really wealthy homes. Okay, so they've never had to struggle a day in their life. They have the luxury of spewing out all of these communist and socialist ideas because they've never had to bear the consequences of these horrible policies. That's why they can talk about sanctuary cities. They all live in gated communities. They have security guards. They have bodyguards. They don't have to deal with any of that. So the rest of us plebs have to cope. They don't. So here she is essentially, claiming. Now, remember, we played a video yesterday that showed CNN covering the surrogate industry. That was back in 2015. Her own network did that. So here she is coping on the numbers that she's being given.
They wanted to change birthright citizenship via executive order. That seems like, I don't know, bad politics, bad optics, maybe both.
I mean, we already know that foreign adversaries are exploiting this. There's been 1.5 Chinese CCP babies who've been born on US. 1.5 million people who've come.
Okay, how many of them?
Yes, Anderson Cooper,
have children in the U.S. over the last few decades.
I've never seen the number be that high. I don't know if you're
the New York Post has reported on it. So that's an issue that we know our foreign adversaries
are you talking about just Chinese nationals who
yes,
have
who come
children here? You realize that not all of them are here to give birth via birth tourism?
Okay, well, we can argue about the numbers. That is the number that's been reported.
I'm arguing about the numbers.
Can I finish?
Okay, so guys, I want to say to you guys, okay, thank you for showing up and listening to me rant and talk. And it's a privilege to do that, okay, with you. One of the things that I wish that outlets like CNN would do more is to talk to people like me. Not me exactly, but immigrants, okay, who have done exactly what she's claiming never happens. Anyone who's pregnant and is like, well, which country would be the best place to have this child? Every one of them would want to have their child in the United States. All right. Abby Phillips is either grossly misinformed, deluded, okay, she's either delusional or she's downright lying, because she should know that this claim she's making isn't true.
No, I'd like to finish. I'd like to finish.
Here's the thing. I'm arguing about. Hold on, Lydia. I'm arguing about the numbers because the numbers matter.
Yes, of course.
This is a country of hundreds of millions of people. And if you are talking about a number of people that is in the tens of thousands, where there are already laws that address this issue, that should be part of the conversation, because it's misleading.
There's still birth tourism schemes that are advertised all over the world.
I understand that. Back in the day and early in my career, 2015, there was a huge birth tourism crackdown. I covered that. This has been going on for a long time. But what is the scale? What is the...
So is she claiming that it stopped? Is she claiming it stopped? Or it simply became worse?
The true scale, Lydia.
I'm telling you.
If we are being truthful, the true scale is not 1.9 million.
1.5 over the last few decades.
Million Chinese people coming
I'm curious.
for the
Why would we want?
birth tourism.
We already don't know that.
Come on. Okay, let's keep watching.
This is something that our foreign adversaries are using to exploit us. We already know that 61% of people who come and have a child here are on social welfare services. We already know that people are using it for social welfare services. So why would we want more of that?
How many people
why would we want
are you
more
talking
of that?
about, Lydia?
I already mentioned the 1.5.
You're saying that all of the 1.5 million people of
those
Chinese
children can vote here. Do you really want people
are coming for the sole purpose of utilizing our social services?
Whose parents are CCP citizens who grow up in China to come here and vote?
There are plenty of people who have parents of foreign citizenship who are American citizens
I'm going to show you my
and
daughter's
do, in fact, have the right to vote. They might be from China. They might be from Russia. They might be from England. They might be from anywhere in the world.
I don't think that we should.
That is not illegal.
I think it makes sense
to have
crack
parents
down on
from another country.
I don't understand why it would be controversial to crack down on birthright tourism.
It's not. It's actually. That's my point. It's not controversial.
Great. So then, what are we?
Okay. So she's copying all she wants here. Citizen of the United States. That's my daughter's passport. All right. So when you have these, look, I've said it again and again, and I don't think I need to convince you guys, okay, that I want great things for the United States. And I am for anything that protects the lifeboat. The United States of America is the lifeboat for the rest of the world. And when people like her lie to millions of their viewers, people who don't do their own research, and make these crazy, dismissive claims, it upsets me, because I'm like, people like me, my family, took advantage of this opening. I'm not saying that not everybody is going to be like me that's going to raise my kid to love the United States. There are people out there that want the United States to burn. They hate every American citizen because in the bones, in the blood of every American citizen is the scream, the cry of freedom. You can't intimidate an American citizen. Go to other countries. Most other countries have broken souls. the people don't even have rights anymore. They want to eradicate the freedoms that the United States has. Because as long as the United States exists, it's an indictment of their crazy policies. It is. So it frustrates me. I hope my wife doesn't watch this live stream. She'll be upset that I showed my daughter's passport. She'll be upset. Like, you went too far. But I didn't hope there's no code in here. It's so, guys, it's so important to me to call these people out. I don't know what else to do or say. I'm sweating. It's hot. But anyway, let's see. And speaking of air conditioning, okay, let's just move on. Okay, let's look at the chat. Okay, let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat. All right, JM says, I agree. Talking to Intergalactic Trump. I like reading out your chat, sorry. And that what makes it so scary because people will fall for the serpent's lie, socialism. Yeah, they would. Let's see. Intergalactic Trump says one is too many. And, excuse me, one is too many referring to the, illegal birth tourism. All right. Look, seeing what the world has become, I agree. Okay. And I am agreeing even when it hurts the fact that if this was me, okay, 10, 15 years ago, I'm like, okay, do you agree that the borders should be shut against people who want to come and give birth to kids in your country? I would say, are there people who are actively having American citizens as kids and taking them back to their countries and indoctrinating them so that after 20, 40 years, they can go back to the United States and run for office and dismantle the Constitution? Yes. Please shut it down. I will find a different way to get my family citizenship or status in the West. Look. Anyway, let's keep going. I don't want to extend my rant. So yes, make dual citizens illegal too. That's why I told my daughter, look, you're an American citizen. You are an American citizen. I'm not doing this whole thing like, oh, you're a split between Nigerian and American. I said, no, you're American. And that is what everyone who has the privilege of having a child who happens to be an American citizen, that's the attitude they should have. Intergalactic Trump says, I think you would be a good citizen. Well, thank you for that. Thank you. I was raised on Sesame Street. Not on the street. I was raised on the show. I was raised under someone who was trained by the British, and on TV I watched shows like I've watched all these shows that were made in the United States. So I essentially grew up like having an American mindset, but I lived in a country that hated it. So and then Intergalactic Trump says, tell your wife it's my fault. I hope I don't have to tell her anything. I hope she doesn't see this. I hope she's asleep right now and doesn't see this. I don't want to have to explain myself why I had to go that far. But, when you speak and talk, because there are a lot of content creators out there who lie. They just tell lies in order to kind of tell the audience what they think they want to hear. Sometimes I feel like I feel I have a responsibility to prove that I'm not lying about my position. People watch my videos and say that I'm doing it because I want to be accepted by white people. I'm like, I have a handful of white friends. They love me. I love them back. I have an American daughter. In a few years, she'll be 18. She leaves and moves over to the States. If she wants to pull strings and make me a citizen because I'm her dad, that's fine. But right now, I'm not really planning to move to the States, even though I won't lie, I would like to do that, but it's like, it's not something that I'm really obsessing over. So people accuse me of all these things, and it's like, you don't know me, you don't know why I'm saying this. I'm saying all of this because of my kids. By next year, I will be 50 years old. By next year, by November of 2027, I will turn 50, half a century. So I'm not doing this because of me. If I live for 50 more years, amazing. I intend to have a nice life and a healthy life and enjoy it all. But I know that the real danger is coming either when I'm close to my deathbed or after I'm gone. And it is for those of us who are alive today to stop the disaster from happening, or at least delay it. Okay, so that's why I'm so passionate about this. Okay, the United States is the last lifeboat. I grew up and we had the United States, we had the United Kingdom, we had Ireland, we had Australia. There was Spain and France for a few people, and Germany. All the other countries are gone. We have one final lifeboat. So that's why I do what I do, guys. All right, we're past the hour, and it's my fault. I had other things to talk about. Mamdani's instruction to companies or businesses in New York to turn off your air conditioning. I wanted to play that and mock the hell out of socialism, because that's a socialist mayor. All right. You have France and England. Europe is going through a massive heat wave. People are literally dying. They're drowning because they're jumping into the Seine in order to cool off, and they're drowning. And people are getting penalized for turning on their ACs in Europe. And Zoran Mamdani's great idea is, let's do the same thing in New York. Not how can we improve and boost the production of energy. No, he's a socialist. He's a Marxist. Okay. And it is anathema for him to talk about burning more fossil fuels to generate energy for your air conditioning. So it's better you die or you suffer great inconvenience than we do the thing that the climate cult don't want us to do. It's upside down world, guys. Now, before we go to the body cam segment, Gardening says, I turned my air to 77 today. I used to keep it at 69, then went to 70, then 72, then 74, now 76 to 77. But mine is because I can't afford it. Yeah. I don't have air conditioning in the entire house. Well, I can't afford it. So I don't even have that. I can't afford it. I don't even have the knob to turn down the temperature. So I understand. I agree. Intergalactic Trump says cooling centers is the dumbest thing I've heard. Look, they think they're smart and they think the rest of us are morons. The rest of us are morons. They know how the rest of us should live. All right. While they enter their private jets, their limousines, their yachts, their air-conditioned homes, like they do not turn down their temperatures to those levels. They don't. Their families live in safety, in great comfort. It's the rest of us peons that should suffer and sweat. Okay, we don't deserve to have our ACs on. How dare you have the same comforts as we do? JM says this is why they are hell-bent to destroy the spirit of freedom. If we, America, go down, then the new world order will have succeeded. We have a duty to resist always. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do. It's exhausting, but we're just going to have to hold the line. We're going to have to keep talking and talking, even if the people we're talking to never listen. All right? Now, God forbid, if after all of this effort, after all of this common sense, after everything we do to stop the world from burning, they finally succeed at getting their way, they're going to sit in the embers of the destruction they caused. And you know what they will do? They will blame us for the destruction they caused. And how do I know? Because that's what happened in the Soviet Union and in every communist country. While the destruction is staring them in the face and their fingerprints are all over it, they're going to say is the fault of the great Satan, America. All right, today's body cam video. Haven't watched it. It's promising to be funny. I hope it is, because, guys, as much as we see the kind of stories that we have to cover and the frustration, it's not that I want to look. In fact, maybe I have to stop finding these videos and just look for funny cat videos. Maybe we watch funny cat videos while I read the news out to you guys. So it's kind of lighthearted. I'm going to find a way. I need to find a way to kind of make all of this funny. I need to find a way to laugh at all of this, because I know it's not, I don't like, do you know what? I don't blame anyone who watches this channel the first time and sees all the horrible, these people are insane. Is this the world we live in? Oh my God, I'm going to tune out and go watch cat videos. I don't blame them. I would rather be watching my favorite TV show right now. I would rather be, look, I missed out on a lot during my childhood. I would rather go back and watch reruns of, what are those shows? All right. The Great Space Coaster. Okay, no, Tom and Jerry. I ran that. Pinky and the Brain. Did I finish that one? I don't know. I mean, I have a ton of TV shows I didn't get to watch while I was a kid. I need to go and watch all those reruns. Meanwhile, I'm going to be watching reruns of Stargate soon. Yeah, I'm going to be going back to that. I loved it when I did the marathon. I'm going to do it again. All right, guys, I'm rambling, but oops. Yep, funny cat videos. Okay, so let's watch this together, guys.
On February 23, 2024, an officer stopped a woman suspected of driving on a suspended license.
Hi, hon.
Hello.
Is this your car?
Yes.
All right, hop up. Where are you heading? What are we driving around, like all around the parking lot for?
She's wasted.
No, I had to use the restroom, so I was going right here.
Okay, where are you originally? Like, where are you coming from?
From work.
From work? Where do you work at?
At the airport.
The airport?
Yes.
In Daytona?
Yes.
So what are you doing here?
Coming right here. This is the first person that I can use the restroom.
So you came all the way from the airport in Daytona to come here to use the bathroom?
They were all closed. Yes.
That's crazy talk. Where do you live at?
In Holly Hill.
So you didn't think driving to Holly Hill where you live at is going to be faster than driving to the shores?
No, because normally I go and I work out here. So that's why I was coming here.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license on you, registration, proof, insurance?
This is normally where I go.
She looks wasted.
Go for bathroom usage?
No. To watch out.
Okay.
For George.
Huh? Who's George?
Okay. Where are you actually coming from?
Coming from work to...
Okay, what have you drank tonight? I'm gonna hand you your card back because I don't need that. What did you drink tonight?
I haven't drunk anything.
Okay, well you drank something.
I was going in here to...
Let me ask you something. Are you aware that your driver's license is suspended and it got revoked in December?
And that's why I was sitting here, because I needed someone to come.
How did you get here?
So, but you drove from work here?
No, because that was the thing. I was trying to get everything.
Okay. So, can I talk to you? Okay, we're going to put that down, and I'm going to talk to you for a second, okay? Can you just come run here, please, real quick? So, clearly, you can hang out. I'm gonna stand in front of you. Okay. You drank something tonight. It's like smell. Okay.
Something that I didn't know that I was even drinking. That's the thing. That's why I pulled over here, because I know this.
I understand. Did you consume any alcohol tonight? Like, honestly?
Honestly, I didn't know. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't know.
You didn't know that you consumed alcohol?
No.
Where did you consume alcohol at? Was it at this Mets right here?
No.
So where did you consume alcohol?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to get anybody in trouble. I'm just trying to.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look at your eyes real quick. Okay. So that's just gonna give me a better gauge of what's going on. All right. You mind just looking at her eyes? This is a separate thing. Because you're a little bit more depth at it.
All right. You just want to step on toe, but
We're not. I'm not at the S1 investigation, but we're just gonna. If you want to get a gauge going, I'll watch.
Can you stand feet together on your side? Feet like touching together. All the way together. Like touching, like this.
Like your feet, your shoes are touching. There you go.
There. All right. See the tip of my pen? So I'm going to have you, with your eyes, and your eyes only, not moving your head, following the tip of my pen. Do you understand?
Just do what he's asking. If you.
Do you understand what I'm asking you? Are you gonna follow the tip of my pen?
Jeez.
Either way, you have to kind of like take can you just.
She is gone.
Are you willing to finish this exercise?
She's gone.
Can you please just.
Is talk to Officer Mikey for a second. I copy. Thanks.
Are you willing to continue with this?
Like I said, we're just gauging right now. So. Okay, so I'm gonna go on and talk to you about this then. So basically, my interaction with you thus far, basically what I can smell and what we can kind of see in your movements. I believe you're too impaired by the influence of alcohol or drugs. Probably alcohol. Can I finish? So basically, right now, I'm going to be conducting a DUI investigation. Okay. So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna ask if you're willing to perform field sobriety exercises. Okay. This is gonna be able for you to show me that you are capable of operating under the same. Okay.
But I'm telling you, you can take every
Okay. It's a yes or no?
I'm telling you, you can take everything. That's why I stopped everything.
Okay. It's a yes or no. Are you willing to perform field sobriety exercises? Nope, we're not walking back over there. Stop. Stop. We're not walking back over there. Are you willing to perform field sobriety exercises? It's yes or no?
I've already complied with everything.
I know, but I'm asking you, yes or no? I need a yes or no answer. Are you willing to perform field sobriety exercises?
It doesn't matter. You're going to take me anyway.
It's a yes or no. Is it a yes or a no? I'm giving you the opportunity to show me through field sobriety exercises that you are able to safely operate a motor vehicle. It's a yes or no?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
picture.
And you've already.
What, he already what? That's not, no, that is not, you can't contest that in court. That's just a gauge to see where we're at. 4 Charlie 13 Central. Stop walking back to your car. Nope.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not sitting in your car. Put your hands behind your back.
I haven't done anything.
Put your hands behind your back.
Now you're resisting.
Stop.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh man, she's wasted.
It's 10:15.
She's so wasted.
4 Charlie 13 Central.
I haven't done anything.
Adult female 10:15 for DUI. Can you change the header, please?
I haven't done anything. It's what I'm.
Do you understand that we're trying to perform field sobriety and you try to sit in your car?
No, I didn't. You died.
What do you mean? No, you didn't. I just saw you. That's why we pulled you out of the car.
She's not very bright.
I haven't done anything.
Can you stop?
I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything.
Can we check around for a female officer for a search?
Oh man.
I haven't done.
And you're not supposed to be driving because your license got revoked in December for DUI.
And I haven't done anything.
You're not supposed to be driving anyway.
The fact
But I
that you were
haven't done
driving
anything.
with the suspended license,
I'm
you
not
did
responding
something
to
there.
you.
Okay, we're just gonna hang out here. Okay?
No, because you guys are gonna take me to jail.
Oh yes, you are going to jail.
I'm just gonna have him shut the door. I'm just gonna ask you while we're here again. So we're gonna give you the opportunity once again to perform field sobriety exercises if you choose to do so. Okay? So it's gonna be a yes or no.
I don't want to tell me either way, but.
So what was the answer?
I'll perform it.
You'll perform them? Okay. So we're gonna, if you want to follow Officer Meineke. Okay. So you got your left foot on the white line. I want you to put your right foot in front of your left foot, heel to toe. So I need your right foot in front of your left one, heel touching your toe. Just a little bit more. So you're. Nope. Okay, look. We'll try this again.
Yeah.
So your left foot is on the white line. Your right foot needs to be in front of it, heel to toe. You see how his heels is touching his toe? Okay, that's good. Now put your hands by your side. Okay, this is your starting position. You're going to remain in this position until I tell you otherwise. Do you understand? Well, I'm going to explain, and we're going to demonstrate the exercise. We're going to continue to stay in that position until I ask you to do anything else. Does that make sense?
Position.
You understand what I'm saying?
I know, but it's.
Okay, so get back in. Okay, so do you want? Okay, so go back in the starting position for me. Okay. Okay. That's your starting position.
Do you want paperwork?
All right.
Do you want paperwork?
I'm going to perform it and explain it to you. You're going to sit like that. Okay. So like I said, your foot's on the white line. Just like so. So my right's for my left. Okay. So I'm going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps. And I'm going to count them each out loud. Once I get to my 9th step, I'm going to take a series of small turns and then take 9 heel-to-toe steps back. So it'll look like 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. But you will do it until you get to your 9th step. And you will take a series of small turns while you're walking. Like so. And then you will take 9 heel-to-toe steps back. Okay, you may begin the exercise whenever you feel like it.
Miss. Stepped off the line and missed. Miss. Miss.
I was trying to leave one more time.
So remember, 9 steps.
Miss.
Can she still count?
2 minutes.
Yeah, you counting them out loud as well, but wait, you.
I think it's probably.
Okay.
4.
Oh, you see, sober people fail these tests? Really?
Going back down this line.
Yep. 9 heel-toe steps back on the line. The line. Okay. The line.
Not this line. This line.
The line that we started with. Okay.
I'm not trying to do one.
No. Not safer than that.
Second step. Miss. Third step.
I'll feel 100%. Well.
Okay. So we're familiar with the exercise. So we're going to move on to the next exercise. So I'm going to have you put your left foot on the white line again.
Me as a person, I can't do that on my own.
Put your left foot on the white line.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So there you go. All the way on the white line. There you go. That's fine. Right there. Now put your right foot directly next to it. I want your toes and your heels touching all the way together. Perfect. Now I want you to put your hands by your sides. Yeah? That's your starting position. I'm going to have you stay in that position until I tell you otherwise. You understand? When I say right, you're going with your right hand, right finger. You're going to touch the tip of your nose with your right pointer finger and immediately put it back out without me having to tell you. When I say left, your left hand and left pointer finger, you're going to touch the tip of your nose with that
This is going to be bad.
finger and immediately put it back out without me having to tell you so. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, but is it gonna take into account that I'm nervous because
I would take that into account. Right. No.
Nope, stay.
Oh, sorry.
Don't need to walk. No walk.
It's just you're staying still, okay? So
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Just put your feet together again. Right.
Do you want me to move forward or
No, you can stay there. I'm gonna have you put your arm back out there, remember? Look, your right arm. Put your right arm back out. Alright?
Don't wait for us to say to put it back. Touch and immediately put it back, okay?
Okay. Left. Immediately back out. Remember, we're not telling you to do it. You're going to touch your nose and immediately put your arm back out, okay? Right. Put your arm back out, remember? Immediately. Right. Immediately right back out. You understand what I'm asking? You touch your nose and immediately put your arm right back out. Okay? So go back. So hands, finger, I suppose. There you go. Left.
It's like I told you to just touch
So we're gonna go on to our last exercise, okay? It's called basically you're reciting the alphabet, okay? So
I'm not going to get that right there. Go ahead.
you know the alphabet though? Have you graduated high school before?
Graduated high school, graduated college.
Okay. I'm just asking so we're on the same page. So you're good with the English alphabet? Okay, so that's perfect.
I can't recite it backwards.
I'm not gonna ask you to do it backwards. That would be silly talk. So I'm gonna have you go into the starting position, okay? So left foot on the white line again. Right foot right next to it. Feet together, toes together, hands by your side. So you're gonna recite the alphabet from the letter C to Q. C as in Charlie, Q as in quiet, okay? You're going to recite that, not right now. Not right now. You're gonna recite that without making it sound like a song or any kind of rhythm or rhymes, okay? You understand? It's gonna look something like this. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. See how it's monotone? So on and so forth until I get to the letter Q. So can you tell me what letters I'm asking you to recite? Just so we know what I'm saying. So the letter C, we'll say this.
D.
No. I just want to make sure you know what letters we're doing. The letter C, as in Charlie, to the letter Q, as in quiet. Those are the letters that are going to go from C to Q without rhyming or making it a rhythm or a song. You understand? Okay. You may begin.
After C.
So start with the letter C and go all the way until the letter Q. You're going to recite it out loud without making it a song or a rhythm or a rhyme, anything like that. And keep your eyes closed and have your head tilted back.
So I just keep going after C.
Okay.
Dog. Elephant.
What? C?
You just have to say the letters. So C, D, E.
Yeah, it's the letter.
Okay, sorry. So.
Okay.
Okay, so elephant.
What?
Fahrenheit.
Alphabet.
Campo. Water.
Oh my goodness. He had to stick his head into the car.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I know past you, hippopotamus, iguana.
It's bad.
A jackal.
Gosh.
Kangaroo. Lion.
This is bad.
Kangaroo.
Just.
Armadillo.
Oh. It's like. Gosh.
Alrighty.
It's tries not to be
Okay.
professional.
Are you willing to perform a lawful test of your breath? A breath test? Alright, that's whatever you choose. Okay. Are you cool with just walking her in there? Wait, what do you got? We'll just walk her in there.
You want to put your shoes on real quick? Actually, on second thought, just keep them.
Okay. We'll walk. We'll do.
We're going.
Just in case.
Yeah, just walk past the car.
Yeah, we're gonna follow you. Okay, well, I'll answer your questions in a second. We're gonna make a right turn.
Stop. Stand right here, friend.
Oh boy, hold on.
We're gonna lead you to
Oh,
victory
shit.
over here, okay?
Sorry. She was charged
Okay,
with
well,
resisting without violence, driving while license suspended, and DUI. Okay. All right. That was funny. I don't know. What do you guys think of the video? Let me know. Well, you guys did chat. If you're watching after the fact, let's know what you think. Let's know what you think. Okay, so thanks for hanging out, guys. We started late because the live stream settings somehow got scrambled, and I went live and YouTube was not streaming, and I was like, what's going on? So that took a while to fix. So sorry about the lateness. I try not to be late. I try to be on time. Maybe one of these days I'll start streaming minutes before 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock for me, 9 p.m. Eastern. So that, I'm not late. I don't like being late. I don't like the stereotype that Black people, tend to be late. So I try not to fall into that stereotype. I hate it when I turn up late. So we'll try to be earlier, but thanks for hanging out. Remember that tomorrow we're working on the anniversary stream, 3rd of July against the 4th of July. I'm still waiting on your stories, your videos. Okay. I'm going to be hunting for really upbeat videos tomorrow, but no guarantees, because we should never underestimate the insanity that the far left spews out on a daily basis. Like, it's like they have a factory where they just churn out insanity. It's like they're on overdrive now. So it's very likely that while I'm hunting for something that is going to be uplifting and patriotic, something insane is going to show up in my feed, and it's more like, okay, do we leave this till Sunday? Because Sunday, I'm sure that there's going to be spectacles that we're going to be celebrating on Sunday. Okay, most of you are going to have, maybe it's old news, maybe we're just going to be reliving it together, but it is something that I'd like us to see how we can make fun for tomorrow and for Sunday. So thanks, guys, for hanging out. So let's go around the horn. So Godwin, thank you for the great work that you do. Jeez, I'm sweating so much. And JM, thank you. Okay, in order of appearance today, because Intergalactic Trump came in afterwards. But thank you for hanging out, guys. I appreciate all of the love and the support that you guys show by simply showing up. And thank you for sending in your love by chatting and just hanging out. We're going to be back tomorrow. at 9 p.m. Eastern with more stories, more commentary. And we're going to find, I'm sure that there'll be good news tomorrow, something good to talk about and laugh about. All right, guys, I am baking in here. I have to open the doors and windows. But thank you for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one. Good night.